Hello, hello. Once again, this is MJ. Something I want to talk about very briefly. I'm going to make this one fairly quick, but I think this is one of those videos where I don't know why I have to, or why I should make this video, because some of these things really should go without saying. And I feel that way because I think people just, we ought to know by now where we are in all this, right? I've been watching this gentleman out there by the name of Shalit King Bolson, the name he goes by. And he's a Muslim gentleman. And very, very much, the way he comes off, very much in the vein of Malcolm X, which I admire greatly. He has some very, very interesting perspectives on the West, about our politics, about our social climate, everything. Very, very interesting man to listen to. I don't really get too much into his religious stuff, really not my thing. But some of his other critiques, as censorious as they may sound, I think you need to hear them. I think they're bang on. This particular case, he's talking about money and politics, and this is one of the reasons why maybe I'm naive and figure or think that everybody should be up to speed on this by now, that we know that there's money in politics, and it's just kind of one of those things, and it's awful, and it doesn't help everyday people, because everyday people don't have millions of dollars to donate to political campaigns and so on, whatever. But money in politics is what drives campaigns, and without it, winning is questionable. The way I see it, this isn't about the exchange or the battle of ideas anymore. It's about buying legislation and ad space. It's about people making money. It's about people getting legislation written or changed in their favor. In fact, now often, the House and Senate, they write legislation, pass it, and send it to the president's desk and so on. But there's also various pieces of legislation that are written by corporations that are passed through the House, and with the hopes that the president will sign that piece of legislation. And it gets the imprimatur of the House, the Senate, lastly the president. There was a Supreme Court case back in, I think it was Buckley versus Vallejo, 1976. It was a Supreme Court case that said that you can only donate so much money to a particular candidate. I want to say it was like $1,700 or $2,700 or something like that. And that was just kind of the way it went. And then after that, we had the rise of super PACs, where you can just donate more money to PACs that can contribute money to political campaigns. Well, I think it was around 2010. It was Citizens United that came around and really took off those guardrails, and believed that the legislation was adjudicated that money was considered free speech. So if I had to paint a picture, think about it like this. If, let's just say, you're an average person, right? And I'm some rich guy, I'm a billionaire. And I say to you, hey, did you hear the good news? Before you can only donate so much money to a campaign. Now you can donate millions of dollars. Isn't that great news? You would look at me like I'm crazy. But that's where we are right now. Corporations, wealthy people, are able to donate vast sums of money. You remember those old movies where, let's say, some politician he was going to build a railroad through a town or something like that, where some old guy came up with an apple pie and said, my wife made this for you, and there's like a couple 20s stuck under it, and someone, whatever, to get him to ditch the bill on the railroad coming through, or the gas line, or whatever the case was. And then the man looked at him and said, oh, well, I don't think you're going to have to worry about that thing coming through. I think we're going to redirect our interests elsewhere. Well, for one, that's television, and two, to the extent that it ever was true, those days are over. This is about money now. Large corporations, they want legislation enacted, or even bailouts later. Say, hey, I got you through this campaign. We helped get you to the White House. So after we've we spend all our liquid cash buying our stocks back and so on or whatever. We got caught with our pants down, and now we definitely want to bail out, and we don't want to pay the money back. That's where you come in, Mr. President. That's why you're going to sign a relief bill for the rest of us, all of us rich folks and corporations who help get you to where you are. It's just like Barack Obama. Though Barack Obama will probably has gone down as a great president, people forget where he got most of his money from. He got it mostly from the leftists from the financial institutions on Wall Street. Right? I know a lot of people like to think of leftists as just your average day, everyday blue collar, poor, hard-working people. That's not necessarily the case, especially in President Obama's case. So at the end of the day, you don't likely have millions of dollars to give. Most people, right? So you really, really, really never had a chance. I mean, there are organizations out there. I think Wolfpack is one. There's a few other ones that are trying to get money out of politics. I have some ideas on the matter. Maybe I'll do a video on them one day. But all in all, I don't know, for the current time anyway, I don't know how you get money out of politics. It may be something that really needs to start more grassroots than it has. And I think if that's going to be the case, people really have to stick to making their politicians accountable. Basically saying, if you don't do this, we'll get rid of you. We'll vote you out. You lie to us once, or we think you're going to lie. We smell a lie. We dream you're going to lie to us. We will vote you out and carry through with it. But anyway, that's all I wanted to add on that. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for listening.